Welcome back to another Massey Ferguson repair video. Today I'm going to do a complete overhaul of the fuel system. This tractor here, it's been doing okay, but when it gets running for a while it does have fuel problems, and the reason I suspect that is I get a bunch of junk in this fuel filter. If you can see, this is a fuel filter I hadn't had on too long, but a bunch of rust and dirt and debris gets caught in that fuel filter, and I know that fuel filter only catches some of it and the rest is going into that carburetor. So I know I need to clean out the carburetor, or in this case replace it. Then I also need to clean out my fuel tank. So what I'm going to be doing is taking out this fuel tank and cleaning it, putting some prepper and some sealer inside this tank to get rid of some of this rust. I did buy a new carburetor to replace on here. At first I was going to just rebuild the carburetor and get some new gaskets and clean it out, but I found this one on Amazon, and at $30 it was the same price as the kits, so I got this extra carburetor now, and I'm very impressed with how clean it is. Brand new. So it came with that, came with the gaskets, and as well as the mounting hardware that you need to put it on. It also came with these brushes, so when I take my old carburetor off I'll use these brushes to clean it up, then I'll have a spare carburetor. I'm also going to use these brushes to clean out some of the fuel lines, run it through. But I'll put all the product links in the description below, so check those out. I'm going to go ahead and take off this old carburetor. It's pretty simple. I'm going to disconnect my fuel line going in. Also I got my air intake hose right here that I have to take out. I just have a clamp on it. Disconnect your linkage to your throttle and your choke, and then there's two fasteners up there here that go into the engine. Take those off and it should come right off. If you wanted to rebuild the carburetor, you certainly could. There's 4 screws on each one of the corners. I've already removed those, but I wanted to open it up and just see kind of what it was looking like. And it is pretty dirty. I really thought it'd be a little dirtier, but you can see some of the rust has gotten into the carburetor. And this right here is what's really dirty. You can see there when you pull your choke, all the rust. And there's also some grass in there. So I need to check my air filter. One tip when you're getting ready to put all this back together, be careful with the rod that goes from your throttle back to your carburetor right here. I was adjusting mine. This bolt here in the clevis was rusted over, so I snapped mine in half. I looked online and they weren't too readily available, so I had to make my own. I did that by getting a 1/4 threaded rod and getting me a clevis end and drilling a hole so that I could put these pins in through it. And one thing I did notice that was different between the carburetor I bought online versus the original carburetor. I did put this piece onto the new carburetor. This holds the cable coming from your choke. I like this better than just looping the wire into the hole here. And it was also missing this piece right here, which is used to hold down the cable from the choke so that it stays in place while you move the wire in and out. So I'm gonna have to find somehow to mount this under here. I have a screw right here on the block that I may be able to use.
There's a couple screws on the carburetor that you'll want to adjust before starting up the tractor. The 2 screws that can be adjusted are the idle mixture screw and the power adjusting needle, or main needle. The idle screw controls your idle speed when the throttle is all the way down and your choke open. Initially, you want to have the screw backed off 1 full turn from the closed position. Adjust this until the tractor idles at about 750 RPM. The main needle will adjust the engine power under load. Start off with this screw backed off 2 full turns from the closed position. With the tractor revved up, make small adjustments in with the needle. Stop when you notice a drop in RPMs. and then revert back to the last setting. Now, I didn't use these settings when I first started up the tractor with this new carburetor on, and you'll see in the next video how it raced the engine up.